Welcome back to Taco Bowler Gaming. Welcome into Taco Bowler Gaming. If you're new, my name is Taco Bowler, and let us begin today. This is the new Imperator Rome 2.0 free patch. I do not have any DLC for this game, and this is a run where we are giving it a, what is this? Third chance, probably. Obviously, Imperator Rome came out nearly 2 years ago, I think, with 1.0, and my view of 1.0 was that it was about a B-level game. It wasn't what I was after. I had some significant problems with it, but it wasn't, in my mind, a bad game. I know a lot of people thought it was. In my mind, it wasn't terrible. But in my still somewhat limited amount of time that that I had for playing, it was bad enough that it didn't get much play. Then when they came out with the new patches about that first year, trying to change a lot of stuff, I gave it another chance, and in my mind it got up to about an B+, A- game. I thought it was improved. But it still had a couple of the big things that I didn't like about it. And the biggest offender for me in that idea was the creep of power. Namely, the size of armies was just immersion breaking for me. It wasn't game breaking, because I thought it was balanced well, but it was immersion breaking for me to have what amounted to standing armies with 100,000 against 100,000. My last game, I was Gaul over here, and I faced all of Spain, and it was 100,000 versus 100,000, and the armies were weakened by then. And I'm just like, that didn't happen until like the Civil War. The American Civil War, like that just didn't happen with standing armies like that. And that was just immersion breaking for me. Another thing that I did not like was, I think in that game I had all of Gaul, and I attacked like these three, and they had an ally over here, and by the end of the war I was facing all of Iberia. Like, they jumped in with the alliances. I don't think that has been fixed, but yeah, it is what it is. We'll get to why I think that might not be as big of a problem in a minute. But they have fixed the immersion breaking for me for now. We'll see if that is indeed the case, but they've fixed it in a couple of ways. Number one, we have the new oh yes, I forgot about these. Interesting. Okay. They have the new Levees system, where you can raise your levies, and then they have legions. Right, and as soon as you get the laws, you can enact legions. We'll talk about that in a minute. So basically, this looks a lot more like CK2, where you have levies, which are not standing armies. Right, they just pop up, and they're bound to be less experienced. I don't know for sure if they're that bad, but they're less experienced, and they're not going to be as proper, if you will. I would bet that they're not going to be quite as proper. We only have 8 heavy infantry here. We do have some supply chains. That's nice. But you don't have that, and it's more regional, so you can't really gear up in the same way. Legions are kind of like retinues, so you can, kind of really train up and solidify a standing army, but it's much, much smaller. Yeah, so that was one way that I think that they're helping with that immersion. The other is that each of these cohorts is now 500 troops, not 1,000. So that, in terms of game balance, doesn't change a thing, right? But in terms of my immersion, really helps because, 8 cohorts of heavy infantry is only 4,000 troops. So that's nice. The other thing is, obviously, I'm betting that if I'm facing 100,000 troops of levies out of Gaul, because they haven't civilized, they can't get the legions, my 50,000 legions will just tear them apart. At least that's my hope. And then the last way that I think that's happened is so that's all of them. So the legions are there; they're going to be hopefully better, and then the levies are smaller, right? And the levies are raise them up. I think there was one more way I was thinking, but oh, hey, there's a raise all levies button. I can't remember it right now. So that's there. I am optimistic that this game will increase my my love of things here. We also do have a new new UI. So they have all of this. If you have not played Imperator Rome, they have this loading bar on the right side that's there, but it doesn't do anything. You switch to a new thing and it loads up. It's interesting. If you've not played Imperator Rome since the 1.0 rollout, the mana system is been reduced to a lot like Hearts of Iron. You have political influence, and that is the mana, and that's it. It's a lot like political power in Hearts of Iron 4, and then the rest of the stuff is kind of resources that you get. War exhaustion, aggressive expansion, which is more like overextension from EU4. Tyranny, that you get it and then it goes down. Stability kind of works similar to prestige in EU4, but that kind of deal. So all of that stuff is there. The only real mana is political influence, and you have more influence over it than you did any of the powers in Imperator Rome's original rollout. You have low manpower, but there's a lot of mercenaries that cost a lot of money, granted, but there's a lot of mercenaries, so you can do that. Not that big of an issue. One thing is that the Senate remains a mystery to me. So we shall see. I don't really know how to campaign in the Senate, and you do have a lot of problems if you do have a lot of problems if you can't get the Senate under your control. So worth noting. You do have these, and there is a factor of like civics ability or something like that. So you can see here that statesmanship, that's what it is. So right now he has an effective rating of 4, even though his rating and his person is 7, and he has to do his job for a long period of time, or do a job for a long period of time, and get that statesmanship up. This was rolled out a year or so ago, so that changes that a little bit and encourages you to pick young people that might become disloyal, right, in the midst of that. And then you have laws. The Punic reforms let you have a legion in your capital, and then this reform is unlimited legions, unrestricted number of legions. But there's some other things here to take a look at. And the cost to change a law is stability and political power. So you have all of that going there. Economy, it seems like you still want the capital trading, although it's nice that this doesn't change there. But to me, the tribute income, we have some tributes, although I wonder if they're actually tributes or if they're just straight up. That's a feudatory, feudatory. And feudatory. So those are all of our subjects. Oh, you're in an alliance with Umbria. Nice. So I usually, when I was playing earlier, I would just lower this, forget tribute income, but the subject's opinion of us goes up by 50, and that counts for the feudatories. So that's what I would usually just do with that. Let's go over to government. Let's see where are the idea slots. Nation overview, okay. So the idea slots haven't changed from before. We have morale of armies, shipbuilding cost, reinforcement, and army morale recovery. Alright, we want those two. I don't really care about ships in this run right now. I will later, obviously, but okay. Monthly corruption, loyalty of generals, loyalty of generals. I like to do anything I can to keep that going there. Another change from 1.0 is that you no longer have any direct action on the pops to convert them or anything like that. That just happens on its own. And there's modifiers that you can do globally to mess with that, but for the most part, that just happened on its own. So no need to worry about that. Let's get into religion. This has changed since I last played it. I don't know if it's changed in this one, but it's changed since I last played it. But it seems that you have a pantheon of deities that each give you a bonus. And then you can pick one to do an omen, and that will give you a second bonus. So you can see for Mars, it's morale of armies, but the second bonus is a discipline. For Mercury, citizen output, second bonus is commerce. This is population capacity and global monthly food, which we'll talk about food. And then obviously the monthly ruler, popularity, and the aggressive expansion change there if you do Jupiter. And then you have these holy sites. So you have this, and if you can get it to a metropolis, you can have a third item. Now I have 5 items in my thing here. And it looks like 2 of those, these 2, are currently sitting in the Temple of Roma to Jupiter here. But Mars has no holy site, Mercury has no holy site, and Ceres has no holy site. And what that means is that I'm missing out on a bonus, right? Deities with holy sites have 25% more passive and active effects. So let's go over here. I've got it saved, I think. Religions and holy sites. So you can see that the Hellenistic religion, there's a lot of holy sites. You can see all of these here, and they're level 2, level 1s, all sorts of things. And so you can see that there's several different ones. These are in their cities. The labels here are cities. So right now, the city of Capua is owned by me. Ooh, this has a thing. Nice. City of Capua is owned by me, and it is a holy site. Now I don't think maybe with maybe with the DLC. Ah, okay. No. Okay, so I can dedicate a holy site in anywhere with 300 gold and 50 political influence. Okay. And that would let me create one. But right now, I have another one. It is a Temple of Diana in here. That's great. Really, really nice. I can... where would that be? I found this easily last time in my test game. holy sites. Here we go. So, because this is a city, it's level 2, it can be store up to 2 sacred treasures in its temple. Diana gives me global monthly food modifier in the straight, and then when invoked with its omen has integrated culture happiness, which is always nice to have as a passive benefit. But because I don't have her in the worshipped pantheon, I can't access any of it, and I actually can't mess with this. Now, I could desecrate the holy site, and the local population is upset for 12 months. But then I could build a new holy site on top of that for 300 gold and the political influence. And I could build it to Mars, to Mercury, to Jupiter, to Ceres, whomever. Or I can say, you know what? Population capacity of 10% doesn't matter that much right now, or citizen output doesn't matter that much right now. It does, by the way. But this doesn't happen, and I can replace this Hellenistic deity with anyone. I could look for tribesman output, Venus, population growth. Ooh, that's actually nice. Faunus, supply limit, all of these great stuff, right? Could switch them out. And I think that's what I'm going to do. We're going to take Ceres, nice as that is. We're going to switch it out for Diana. Now I have a second deity with a site here. You can see the global monthly food modifier, which is now straight up, it's activated, right? I don't have to do that. And then I can put these, which were not doing me any good, I can put them in. So right now, I don't think local fort defense is going to matter for Rome here in the early game, so we're going to do the other ones, right? Pop assimilation speed and integrated culture happiness. And so that's there. Now I need to get more in my requilui, which I assume is I just take them, right? This, this exists here, this exists here. I assume I just take that territory to get that, or there may be some kind of way to do that. And I may try and get Mars his own holy site as well as we continue to expand and take cities. This is a city, so if we could put a holy site here, that would be really nice. But right now, I don't think I have any more cities. I have settlements. But we could dedicate a holy site when we get 300 gold. So that's the basic idea here. Now, that's religion. And I can call down an omen. Now, you can get stability for that, but we're not going to do that at the moment. Right now, I think that we don't need Jupiter for sure. I would love to do Diana with the integrated culture happiness, but no. So I think we're going to do Mercury for right now with the national commerce income and get some more money to set ourselves up better. And so for 5 years, we're going to have that. Now, I don't think... Yeah, we can only have one omen active at a time. So we might be able to... redo that, but I'm not sure. Now, cultures, you can see that we only have one integrated culture. We're trying to integrate the others. So, how do I do that? I assume it just goes on its own? Oh. I can just tell them to go move to a colony. Okay. Integration. Integrated and not. Well, obviously, we have a lot of Roman culture. We're good on that front, but interesting. So there's that. Um, oh, okay. Collapse all. Okay. Yeah, we'll sort by culture group. But basically, in our culture map mode here, you can see that they're colored by their group, and then there's individual names within that. So um, these red ones are going to be my culture group. They're going to be easier to assimilate to Roman or accept. And then these other ones are not going to be quite as easy. That's just the way that is. Let's go down here to trade. For one thing, you can block the surplus. That means that anything in your capital, we'll get to that here in a second here, but there's surpluses in your capital that give you extra bonuses that you always want to try to do, and you can say anything that would reduce that bonus, so make sure we keep that +1. Don't do, but otherwise accept them all. That is nice. And then you just go over here to your capital and you just check on this every once in a while. So right now, we have wine. We have 4 wine in the province of Latium, or Rome. And that gives us, the first one gives us the benefit of local freeman happiness, and then the second and up give us legion maintenance cost of -5, right? So we look over here, and we see that wood has only 1. Horses has only 1. So if I can trade for horses, then I'm going to get that surplus in the capital of heavy cavalry discipline. At the moment, I don't have any heavy cavalry, but that's something to look at. Ship recruitment speed with wood. I'm not going to build any ships at the moment, right? If we want, we can get elephants, and that would give us the ability to build war elephants in our legions. Right now we don't have legions. Iron, I think we have surplus, so let's take a look at some of the other ones. Now it's really difficult to see. There's a little blue line here that means you can trade for it. And here in Papyrus, which I really would like to get, you can see that it doesn't have that. Oh well. Cloth I already have. Marble? Monthly tyranny goes down. I do use a lot of tyranny. It's not a bad idea. Ah, now earthenware. Citizen happiness and freeman output. That's nice. Precious metals. Citizen happiness on a national level. That would be really nice. Usually I love to get wine, but we have that already. Light infantry defense. That's probably really good to get. These two. I think it's really good to get because we are going to have a lot of light infantry in our stuff here. Because of... because of the levies thing. Oh, I got the wrong one. That's okay. We can do this. And you can see there that some will accept, others will not. That's fine. And I think that's what we're just going to do, is we're just going to get what we need here for light infantry help. If I remember correctly, we have 17 light infantry, 3 light infantry, right? We have a lot of light infantry. So that's why we're doing that. Now, like I said, with the military, we have that going. As long as you don't have the levies raised, they don't cost anything, but when you raise them, they're raised in their home province with their, you know, the culture of that province influences who they are. So, you know, these are going to be raised here. These are going to be raised down here. Then you have mercenaries. They seem to be here, not on the map anymore. That for a while they were on the map. They seem to be here, which I think is much, much better. You can kind of get a sense there. I don't know if they just pop up wherever, if they pop up in your capital, or if you can like place them a la EU4, but we'll see whenever I need them. The diplomacy menu hasn't changed too much. You see all of the possible actions. It's hard to tell when they're, you know, going to accept or not, but you know, that is what it is. And then we have, of course, the characters, which are always important, and the families that are important here. For the most part, it usually tells me, at least it did before. What were there? Oh, the navies. Right, okay. And then missions. So right now we only have one mission. This is kind of a hybrid between the old EU4 system and the new EU4 system, right? The missions will come up, you select the mission to do it, and then it's like a small part of a mission tree. And in this case, you know, in this case, we have a mission tree here. We can declare war on our own subjects, but I kind of want to not do that. Then we can have a Congress where we can try to get some allies and some subjects, but that did not work out well for me the previous go around. My run through the tutorial to get a grip on the stuff again. So instead, encourage expansion will be the way to go there. We just activate that, and on completion we get claims all over the place. And we're going to be able to pick between various modifiers, and that will be great. So that is that. Now the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just combine my navies together, and I will give this a commander. Oh, the Roman numerals. I'm like, why does this have an X there? And I don't really want that great of a commander, but I feel like 18 years old. So 47 years old, 56 loyal. I'm going to put you in charge here. You're going to like me for a little bit, and you can't really do much with that many ships. Hopefully. So I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here. I know it's a classic paradox. You didn't even hit unpause in the first episode, but, well, actually, no. We got one more to talk about, and let's just talk about that. Technology. So, in the old system, you had some trees, but this is way expanded from anything that we saw previously. And you start the game, at least in Rome, with 8 innovations possible, or inventions, as it was before. And maybe it's always been... No, yes, it's invention there, but it's innovation here. And you can just choose them anywhere. My guess is that, you know, I don't really know how to get more of these. It just says it's accumulated when our technology increases. So, yeah, okay. So that makes sense. So we're at level 2 for everyone, so we have 8 innovations. And so as we get to level 3, in any one of these, we will get another innovation. But you can put these anywhere. So I could put all 8, in spite of being 2 martial, 2 civic, 2 oratory, 2 religious, I could put all 8 in religious if I wanted to. There's also this nice planning mode, right? You click this and you can just highlight. So what I've done prior to this episode is I've gone through and just looked at all of these and figured out, okay, what do I want the most? And then figured out what ones I want to take to get there. Because you can't get them all. There's just no way to get them all. And so that's kind of where I'm at there. And you can see some of these trees are bigger than others. The civics one is here, and then the military, we have this tree, and naval, which I'm not even looking at right now. In order to get legions, you need to have this one and be a regional power, and you can enact the law for raising a legion in your capital region, and then this one down here is for the law with all sorts of legions. But yeah, so we have, you know, all of these things here. I think right now going for siege ability is going to be good, because I can't even enact the marshal. Yeah, I can't even enact this law until I become a good leader. The other one I'm going for is this food thing and supply limit, so we'll worry about that in a minute. But I think becoming a masterful sieger, not a bad idea. So I'm going to take off planning mode. I'm going to get that. And then here. And then here. And then here. And here. Oh, I can't? Oh, okay. And I only have 2 more, so I don't really want to do all 8 in military, although that would be nice. I'm going to take a look at here, import value and national citizen output. Let's do that for sure, because that's what does research. At least is what it used to do. And then let's go over to oratory and figure out what I wanted to do. Multitude of characters, that's nice. Monthly ruler popularity gain, always nice. But I think that, oh yeah, aggressive expansion impact. We need that before we go to war. You can see it's a little bit harder than I'd like to tell the difference between where you marked for planned versus what's just available, but that's there. So that's what I'm going to do as far as that goes. The religious one would also have been nice, but we're going to do that. So we're very good at sieging. That's kind of one of the things I would like to make sure that we stay good at. And then when legions do show up, we can have engineers cheaper right now. So that's very good. So now I'm definitely going to end this episode here. I hope you've enjoyed learning a little bit about the game, and we'll pick it up next time. And I'll definitely put fort maintenance down and fleet maintenance. But we'll pick it up next time and see what we can do in making Rome at least conquer all of Italy and, of course, defeat Carthage. But I will see you next time.